Hello, everybody. Coaching with the Soul, Thursdays at 3. How's everybody doing? Let's see who pops on here. See who comes on. It's a gross rainy day in Detroit today. Sun came out for a minute, but then it disappeared, unfortunately. So we'll see who comes on. Someone's on. Didn't show up yet though. Oh, hey Catherine, how's it going? Hey Michelle, how you doing? Lots to talk about today. Hey Tracy. Oh yeah, it was out for a little bit and then it disappeared. Now it's kind of sprinkling a little bit. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I have Ascension skin. We're gonna talk about that today too. Yep, gonna talk about that today. So we'll see who all pops on. Hopefully people will. A lot to talk about today. So we'll see. How's everybody doing? Good? I am over the fall and winter already. So, hey Haley, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey Bev, how are you? Yeah, I got a nice letter today from a person who watches my videos on YouTube. Yeah, it was very nice. He works at Virginia Tech, and he's been watching the videos. I don't know how he found them, but he did on YouTube. And so, probably Spirit, right? Yeah, he was very complimentary. I was very happy. I love it when people that don't watch in person, right, or that I haven't done readings for and things like that, that they find the messages. I think that's pretty awesome. Yes, Catherine, spring can't come soon enough. Hopefully the three of us will be moving soon. So that would be a blessing. I keep asking and asking and asking. So getting myself in the right place, I guess. So, with Spirit. Yeah. So we'll wait another couple minutes or so. And see who else pops on. It's getting close to election day. Everybody try to keep their wits about them, okay? Energy is crazy with Mercury retrograde, right? So with COVID and Mercury retrograde energy, it's pretty off the freaking chain. It's like, oh my God, It's like a freaking, like this, right? Hey Pamela, how you doing? So Mercury retrograde ends, full steam ends on election day, November 3rd, and then you have 10 days of oh gosh, what it's called? Sorry guys. Spirit said dream state. I'm like, no, that's not right. Of shadow. Okay, so every day after November 3rd, the energy wanes. Okay, till it gets back to because on November 3rd, it will be back to where it was when it retrograded. When it retrograded, right? I think that's how it is. Yeah. So, so this week has been intense so far for a lot of people. That they're confused about. They don't know what is going on. And they forget about. Hi Dorothy. They forget about Mercury retrograde. And COVID too, right? Because everything is so freaking crazy. So yeah. Okay. So first thing we're going to talk about is COVID sickness, not COVID sickness. ascension sickness. Okay? Now, for those of you who watch, and I know that everybody's on their different path, right? And those of you that are a little bit more ascended, right? As you go through this journey, as we go through COVID for the next year and a half, basically, to the end of next year, and things start to change, right? The energy starts to shift. You start to shift. You get more and more insight, right? Because you're starting to ascend as the energy shifts towards the future. Your body will change, okay? And I've known this for a while, and I didn't really know, sorry, I get comfortable. I really didn't know how that would look or how that would work, right? Because being a Capricorn, I need to have some proof or something that says exactly what is what's what, right? So I would say for myself, probably for the last 3 months, maybe 3.5, even in the last year, my allergies have been off the freaking chain. I mean, since last fall. I've never coughed. I've coughed for a full year just because of postnasal drip and that kind of jab that I've never had in my life, right? Until this year. And some other things of, not having a lot of energy and being told I need to eat the right food, which is true. I'm doing more and more of that. I've stopped drinking soda, which I'm doing more and more of that. Spirit has said living the aloha lifestyle, which is true, getting us ready to move to Maui, right? But what comes along with that is your body doesn't know what to do. Your body gets very, very, very off-centered because as I ascend and as others ascend around me at a different pace, some are faster, some are slower, right? We all are, right? No one is on the same path. That is the thing you have to understand, and that you're going to feel different. The chemistry of your body's changing, and Spirit has said this: at 40, 50, and 60, your DNA changes. Okay, That's why your taste change. Hey, Melanie. That's why your taste change, right? That's why your eyesight changes, and the way you think changes. Everything changes, right? So it is so very, very important to recognize that, because I'm 60 years old now. And so that might have a little bit to do with it, right? But understanding that as we go through COVID-19, right, through next year, as we go through this Mercury retrograde, thank God, which ends on Tuesday. We've got a little bit of a shadow, like I said. But paying attention to our bodies is very, very, very important. Understanding that the way that we're feeling most of the time has to do with the energy on the planet, okay? Energy in our house, energy in our family unit, in our friends, in all the kind of things, plus with the election and the back and forth and the being afraid of the election one way or another, right? So all those things on top of us. Hey, Susan. All of those that different energy on top of us and around us, and of course we as humans we absorb some of that energy, right? That's where the Steve Noble meditations come in, because it will allow your guides. Hey, Kimmers, it will allow your guides to put you in meditation, and then clear off energy off your body, and then energy from inside of your body that you've basically collected, so that as you go through your ascension, as you know more and more about yourself, as you know more and more about your body and your mind and your spiritual connection to the universe, right, and your spirit guides and your guardian angels, we'll all be lighter, right? We have to be, right? The way we eat will change, and all kinds of other cool things, right? We'll eat better food, more real food, natural foods, okay, not a lot of processed stuff. So as you feel like that, right? Pay attention. Pay attention to, is there something physically wrong with you? There possibly could be, right? But if it happens slowly, it's probably ascension sickness, okay? Because it's real. I can attest to that, okay? I've been reading the Telos books, I should say. Hi, Elizabeth. And that my ascension has been off the freaking chain. I mean, it's like when I read those books, I'm almost done with book 2. That I'm like 25,000 feet in the air, you know, because I'm so connected to the universe and so connected to my guides and to Lemuria that it's like meditating. And I read like for an hour and a half, and it's like exhausting when I'm done. But that has a lot of effect for myself on me not being able to do a whole lot outside of that and readings, right? Take care of Bay, take care of Lee, things like that. Okay, so ascension sickness is real. So before you go, oh my gosh, I feel this is wrong, I feel that is that. Okay, take a deep breath, Chimes, right? Take a deep breath and just sit and ask the questions. Okay, Dorothy, what was the name? The Telos books, Telos. There's 3 of them. I got them I got the paperbacks on Amazon. They are, because I'm going to write books for the Lemurians once we get to Kihei Maui. I was guided to get these books that were channeled by a woman who's no longer with us, and they're fascinating. But I connected everything in volume 1, and I connected to everything. Volume 2, it is like me. It resonates with every fiber of my being, every bit of my DNA, everything. Right? I can see everything. I mean, it's just they're great books for clairvoyance. It's great books for clairvoyance. Okay. Yeah. So during this time of turmoil, right? During this time of ascension, we have to make sure that we are easy on ourselves. Okay. You're not going to be able to do the same thing that you did a year ago in the fall. Last fall, no. This fall's totally different. Okay? It's totally different. This winter's going to be totally different. Okay? COVID is here to slow everybody down. We've talked about that before, right? And there is a shutdown coming. Okay? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it. But if you want to pack some things away, so when things start to shut down again, you have them, paper towel, toilet paper, don't water, things like that, right? Canned goods, whatever. Don't do the Del Monte peaches, guys, because I got food poisoning from those. So I wouldn't suggest a Del Monte canned peaches. But it is, and I'm telling you, it is coming. Okay. It will also be mandated by the country as we go into 2021. Okay. And there will be compensation for most people in the United States every month from the government. Okay, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of that. I don't want anybody freaking out about, oh my God, I'm not gonna have any money, because you will. Okay, kind of like a income tax refund check a month. Okay, that is not going to be taxable. Okay, so to keep the economy going, to keep people surviving during the shutdown. Okay. As we come out of that in next spring, next summer, basically, we'll all be pretty good. But you got to take care of each other, right? Including ourselves. So you've got to make sure psychologically that you don't beat yourself up. Okay? Don't beat yourself up trying to figure stuff out. You're not gonna be able to figure it out. It's not gonna work. Okay? You cannot figure out what to do in the future because it's blocked, right? It's blocked. All you can do is allow, right? Allow yourself to be, right? Like in the first shutdown, right? Don't get angry. Anger doesn't get you anywhere. That's fear, right? It's all about and fear gets you nowhere. We talked about that last week, right? And I was going to do I was going to do a violet flame video, and I've been so busy with other stuff that I didn't do it. Possibly this weekend I can do something. Possibly tomorrow, because it's important. Okay, it's really, really important about the violet flame, placing it in your heart, right? And so you're not fearful of anything anymore. That's the key. Fear gets you nowhere. Okay, like I talked about last week. If you're fearful about anything, and you want it, that's why you're fearful. You're afraid it's not going to happen, or you are thinking about what you want in the future, and you don't know how you're going to get there, you don't have to know how you're going to get there, right? Again, if $10,000 dropped from the sky right now and ended up in your bank account, what would you do, right? What would you do? That's a good exercise to do, right? You call the bank and say, oh my God, there's $10,000 in my bank account. It's not mine. They go, okay, well, great. We're going to find out whose it is. And then a month later, they call and say, well, I'm sorry, but we don't know whose that is. So it's yours. Would you spend it? Or would you hang on to it just in case? In case they call you back and say, oh, we found the owner of that $10,000 and it's been 90 days, but we know we need that $10,000 back. Oh, sorry, but I spent it. See? What would you do, right? But it's about taking care of yourself and understanding that the time that is coming forth is for us to let stuff go, not be fearful, right? Understanding that the majority of us will survive, right? Because we wash our hands and we wear a mask, right? We wipe down our groceries before we bring them into the house because COVID's still there. It's not going anywhere for another 14 months. Okay, well, maybe 13 months, right? So it's only going to get stronger until summertime again, right? Like it was before. Hey, Suzanne. So again, we have to protect ourselves. Get your masks. Order extra masks on, Amazon. Okay, I think Lee got them for $5 for 50 or $10 for 50 or something like that. Again, you're going to need them. Please wear a mask. Please wear a mask. Okay? I'd hate to have any of you in the hospital on a ventilator or not on a ventilator because the emergency room or the hospital's full. Okay? So please take precautions. I'm sending everybody divine white light around them so to make sure that they can. But again, humans have free will, right? And so they can mess things up easily by thinking, this one time I'm not going to do it. Well, I think I've told this story before, but I have a friend whose father did that, and he was dead in 3 days. 3 days. Was not sick, nothing. Was not sick the week before. He didn't wear his mask to the store, and he got sick on a Thursday. They took him to the hospital. They took him to the hospital on Thursday night, thinking it might have been COVID, and they wouldn't admit him because he didn't have all the symptoms back in the day, right? And then they took him back on Friday because he was deathly sick. He died on Saturday about 11:30 in the morning. It's like that. He's like, oh my God, you know what? I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I just ran in and came back out. I don't know if it was a 7-Eleven or a party store or whatever, but we don't know where it's at. It's everywhere, right? So please wear a mask, okay? But that kind of comes back to taking care of yourself in the next lockdown, right? Understanding that you have to do your mental work. You have to do your spiritual work, right? Understanding that you've got time. And not to project, okay, I've got to find a way. No, you don't. As long as you got money in your bank account to pay your bills and you can eat, right? Can't really go anywhere because everything's closed, right? It's kind of like a vacation at home, but it's the winter time, and who wants to do that, right? Can't really go outside and things like that. But it's for a reason, okay? And understanding that, hey, Susan, and understanding that that's your time to do your work, right? That's a time for you to have time to do your Steve Noble meditations on Mondays and Thursdays at 2 o'clock, right? You got time, right? Or whenever you can fit them in the daytime. Daytime is super, super great. Nighttime, you can do them at night, but your guides would rather have you do them in the daytime so that you can notice the difference after doing them. Exhaustion or kind of exhausted, but then the next day you wake up and you're, oh my God, I feel 40 pounds lighter. Well, of course you do, because that negative damn energy's gone, right? Gives you more outlook to the future, a happier start of your day and things like that. And then you're going to want to crave the way you feel on a Wednesday morning, right? Or Wednesday, I should say, or Tuesday, whatever it is, right? So it's very, very, very important. It's going to give us time to take care of ourselves, and that's what it's all about. Taking away our blinders, taking away our routine, right? And learning to love ourselves. I talked about that last week and the week before. Not being hard on ourselves, not trying to figure it out, not trying to go, oh my gosh, I have to make a decision. No, you don't, because you ain't going no place, right? Hey, there's no place to go. No place to go, right? And so it's time to get out of that fear spot, right? That fear-based mindset, which is, oh my gosh, I have to stay in my house, and oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, no. That's not what it's for. You have to change that way that your ego is talking, shutting it up, talking out loud to yourself, using your name, addressing yourself in third person is bingo. I'm telling you what, it works. It works. I've always done that until I don't know how many last month. Kara said, you need to teach that. I'm like, well, don't people do that already? Well, no, you just do it because you've always done it like that. But talking to yourself in third person, Bill, you need to blah, 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 blah. Guess what? It resonates. I pay more attention. Then I say, okay, I need to do blah, blah, blah today. Well, one ear and out the other, right? But when I address myself with my name, I pay attention. I don't know why. I'm assuming it's because my soul pays attention. My mind pays attention because I'm calling myself by my name. Like when you're talking to ego and you need to say, okay, ego, I'm not listening to that because that's not true. That is not true at all. That is not true. And then tapping your chest, right? 3 fingers. That's all going to work for you this fall and winter. Okay? Again, it's self-care. Making sure that you don't have an agenda. You do not want to have a schedule. You want to be able to just lay around and you're going to probably gain some weight. And that's okay. As long as it's not 50, 60, 80, 100 pounds, right? That's what it's all about. Because what happens is as we move into the new energy in at the end of next year and 2022, that weight is gonna come off. I'm telling you, because things are going to be different in the country and the world in 2022. Okay? A lot of stuff is going to change. A lot of stuff's not going to make it, right? After the next shutdown. It's meant that for a reason. Because human has to get back to eating more natural food, more real food. Okay? Not all the processed stuff. Not all the fast food. Those kind of things. Because that stuff numbs your spirituality. It numbs your human. And you have to have healthy food to be able to function on a higher level mentally, spiritually. Hey, Susan, how's it going? Right? So it is, so it's super important. And so splurge during the next shutdown. Trust me. I mean, I'm doing things now to live in the aloha lifestyle like they've told me to, so that when we do move, I'm not in shock, right? Trying to overcome, and Lee's on keto. He's lost all kinds of weight on the keto diet. It's pretty crazy, but he's 45, right? And he's a pretty big guy, right? And he just changed the way he eats and things like that, and he is much thinner. He's actually having me dry his pants now in the dryer because he's lost so much weight around his waist and things like that, right? So again, changing that lifestyle of what we eat, what we drink, right? And I wanted to say this too, I know, Spirit, that as you go through your ascension, as you get more and more connected with your spirit guides and guardian angels, right? As you do your work, hey, Marlene, how are you? I didn't know that you were on. And understanding that, wondering why things seem so different when you drink alcohol, right? It's not fun anymore. It makes you feel really crappy. That's because you're not supposed to be drinking alcohol. Okay? My nephew's 23, and he's a kind of a pothead, and he's a clairvoyant, right? And so he doesn't drink a lot anymore. And this is how his guides, I was telling him for like 23, telling him for a while, dude, you can't drink so much. I'm telling you, you can't drink so much. Being a clairvoyant is going to come back to bite you. Well, guess what? He went drinking with his buddies one night, and he didn't eat as much food as he normally does, and it ripped his stomach up. So guess what? Now I can't drink anymore. And he goes, Uncle Bill, oh my God, I should have listened to Spirit. Oh, did they tell you? They said you need to eat something, and I would just kind of blew it up like, I don't have time. Well, so he kind of smoked some weed, right? And I told him this, and I'll tell everybody this, because this has not happened to me per se, because haven't smoked weed, got 40 years. But with alcohol, it made me feel like crap, and it took me off of my ascension, right? Because it opens you up to all kinds of different energy that you cannot be protected from. So I said to my nephew, I said, well, make sure that you cut down on the weed that you smoke, because as you become more clairvoyant, as you start to listen more, as you start to use your intuition, right, and become as empathic, even more empathic than you are now. And again, Spirit starts to talk to you even more, and you start asking for guidance, and you start doing things like that, right? I said, I didn't think this was true. I heard about it and things like that, but being the Capricorn, I need proof, right? Well, I've read, and also I've read probably 4 different things about there's evil all over the world, right? Around the planet. There's evil spirits everywhere, demonic spirits, right? And they can't attack us because we're divine white light, right? But when we smoke weed or do drugs or are on alcohol, guess what? It lowers our vibration. So I told him, I said, well, you need to make sure that you don't smoke. Hey, Stacy Casey, gotta make sure you don't smoke as much weed as you used to smoke. You have smoked. Because the last thing that I want is you to call me on the phone one night at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, oh my God, Uncle Bill, there's demons in my head. Because he's 23 years old, right? And he's connected to Spirit like crazy, right? But he's 23 and he's a guy. So that makes a difference, right? So as you ascend, you're gonna automatically know, you know what? I can't drink as much as I used to. I feel like crap. And I've had 3 clients in the last 2 weeks say the exact same thing. All guys. No, I'm sorry, 2 guys and a female. Say, you're like, man, I can't drink that much anymore at all because I feel like crap the next day. Well, that's because, again, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, the universe, right? Your higher self. The energy of COVID. That's moving us all forward, right? Is making you feel bad because that's the only way that human will stop. I'm telling you, right? I mean, that's what's so funny. All of us are like that. But especially if we're in our 20s, right? Because we think, my God, nothing's going to happen to us ever. Well, that's not true. See? So what they do is they make us feel like crap. Like I've asked a couple of times, why did I get food poisoning? Because there has to be a reason why, right? And I got the answer, and I said, yeah, I know. So they had to make me sick to get me to pay more attention. I thought I was paying attention pretty good, but obviously I wasn't, right? About what I'm eating. Say, eat real peaches. Don't eat canned peaches. Do not eat canned, Bill. Do not eat canned, Bill. You need to have, there's too many bunch of preservatives in there, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I get it. That's for me, right? Right? Because of my level of ascension and where I have to go more so that I can channel who I need to channel for the books about Lemuria, right? So everybody needs to understand, and that's kind of tied in with COVID sickness, not COVID sickness, ascension sickness. Making sure that you understand that if you're feeling something yucky, if you're feeling something that is gradually coming on, like I don't have a lot of energy, I can't really think straight, I'm nauseous all the time, I just feel lethargic and I just don't want to have to do anything. Well, part of that's COVID, okay? Because they just want you to sit, chimes, right? Just want you to sit and vegetate and think and allow, right? And also, it can be ascension sickness. Marianne said, I'm going through the right now, not able to eat a lot of processed foods without getting sick. Exactly. That's me. Totally me. I'm eating more than I've ever eaten in my life, right? I'm hungry all the time, but it has to be good food. Trust me, I slide a Wendy's spicy chicken in there every once in a while, and I'm good. Hey, Teresa, right? But everything else is salads and chicken and a little bit of steak and things like that. A little bit of butterfly pork chops, small portions of protein and things like that. And more greens and vegetables and things like that. And I'm not a vegetable person at all, but I've learned. So my friend Teresa does a you name every symptom I have. Exactly, Teresa. I went to high school with Teresa. That's exactly what it is. It's ascension sickness, and you have to look at that and go, okay, what am I eating that I need to stop eating? I need to eat more healthy food. You need to eat more real food, right? Purple lettuce and green lettuce and whatever, every kind of lettuce you can think of needs to be in a bowl. Because it's so funny, because my mom just showed up, right? Always classic. And she says, why do you, don't you remember growing up that, because my mother did this, right? When we had protein and we had a starch, potatoes and stuff like that, right? And then there was always a green vegetable or a yellow vegetable or a red vegetable. Because you needed the nutrients that were in those colors, right? I wonder, as a kid, I'm like, why does she say that you need a green vegetable? Okay. What do you need a yellow vegetable, like squash or corn or whatever that is, right? Now at 60, I get it. I've gotten it for a while, but I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Now it is very, very, very important that we eat colors in fruit, right? Wash that stuff off. Wash it off. My God, you gotta wash everything off. Teresa says it's like 24/7 pregnancy morning sickness. Yeah. See. So again, lots of water. Hopefully as little chlorine as possible, because chlorine clogs you up. A lot of people are allergic to chlorine. They don't know. Again, fluoride in the water, no fluoride in the water, right? Those are all things that give you cancer and clog up your flow, right? Yeah. So it's super important to pay attention. Make sure that you understand. Still got to do your work, right? If you are at home working now, making time, right? Making time. I had a client this morning that was saying that her child is in school 3 days a week in high school. 3 days a week. 3 days a week. 3 days a week. Yeah. And it works out fine. Other kids are working from home and things like that, because it's better safe than sorry, right? Same thing for us. Wear a mask. Please wear a mask. Wash your hands, right? When you get home from someplace, wash your hands. When you walk out of someplace, hand sanitizer in your car, always. When you walk into a place, you can never use enough, right? Alcohol-based hand sanitizer, bingo, okay? Because again, we do this without even knowing, right? Or we scratch our eye or whatever it might be. So, because that's human nature. That's how viruses get spread, okay? So, but the most important thing is taking care of yourself, okay? And understanding that this transformation is for the entire world, but especially for you, right? And don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't think that you should know, because you're not going to know. Trust me, I went through that 3 years ago, even maybe 2 years ago, right? Having those bouts of I need to know. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're not supposed to know. If you're supposed to know, they would tell you, right? Right? So give yourself a break. Give yourself a break, right? Understand that everything is going to be fine, that you're going to be good. You get to know your dog better. You get to know your partner better. You get to know your children better. You get to not have to see family or friends if you don't want to. If you do, in fact, I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was talking about going to restaurants in the summertime, and it was good, but now they don't go anymore. And And I told him, I said, well, we do takeout. I said, I've been in the restaurant twice since last January. That was with my friends at Carrabba's in Troy, and then I met a friend at Panera on Hall Road in Shelby for lunch one day, and yeah, that was it. We were socially distanced, and we went later in the afternoon, so there wasn't a whole lot of people there, right? Because you don't know. You don't know. So, okay, so that is complete. Now, he wants me to talk about that I'm doing specials still, right? Until the 3rd, so until Election Day, I'm doing hour readings for $65, that's $30 off, and I am doing half an hour readings for $50, and that is $15 off, and I'm doing 15 minutes for $25, okay? So if you just need some questions answered, it's a good way to get your questions answered. Then there's also the element packages and things like that, which are on BillHobart.com, okay? Wanted me to get that in, and let's see what else he wants to talk about. Loving yourself, okay? It's transformation, right? It is cutting yourself a break, not being hard on yourself. Stopping the negative mind chat, right? We all do it. I mean, I don't do it much anymore because I've learned it doesn't serve us at all, right? It doesn't help. It doesn't help us out. Again, no conversations in your head. Everything has to be out loud. You will save yourself a lot of aggravation, and you can put ego in its place if you do that. But that helps you to think better helps to think better of yourself, right? Because you're learning more about yourself. You're learning more about the way that you treat yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you talk to your children, the way that you talk to your friends, your family, things like that, right? And during Mercury retrograde, it comes out wrong anyway, and they receive it wrong too, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that happened, but it does. It totally does, right? So it is making sure that the more that you do that, the more that you let that anxiety out of your body by talking out loud to your guides, right? Spirit, blah 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 blah. Have a conversation. Even if you don't get anything back, right? You've released it to the universe, and that's what it's all about. Don't keep that junk inside. That's toxic. Stuff is toxic as hell, especially during Mercury retrograde. It multiplies it by 10. COVID's here, multiplies it by another 10. That shit is that stuff is deadly, right? It's not worth it. Let it out. Let it go. It doesn't work. Let it out. Let it out. You're going to feel much better, okay? Because the more that you know about yourself, the more that you understand how you talk negatively about yourself, right? You go, oh my God, my hair sucks today. I wish you, no. That doesn't work. That does not work. No negativity. It doesn't matter. It's friggin' hair, right? It doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, I need to lose weight. I'm seeing so-and-so today. Screw that. No judgment, right? I know. Sort of like pounding now. No judgment, no self-talk that's negative. You have to call it out and stop by calling out your name again, right? Okay, Bill, stop talking negative about yourself. Ego, I'm not listening to that because that's not true. No, listen to that because that's not true. I'm a fantastic human. I'm a fantastic person. You know, I'm attractive. I'm this, I'm that, I'm wonderful. You gotta tell yourself that out loud, not in your head, because it really, totally makes a difference. Mind chat gets you nowhere, except for ego going, yeah, baby, I own your butt. I own your butt, and I always will. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen The Help. The movie The Help is one of my favorite movies. Swear to God, I can recite it probably word for word for most of the people in the movie, right? And Spirit just brought this to me now. So if you haven't seen it, check it out because it's pretty awesome. And it is when Millie is telling what the terrible awful that she did. to Hilly, okay? And to Miss Celia, right? She goes, Miss Celia, you can't go back to Sugar Ditch because that means she beat us both. She done beat you. She done beat me. You can't go back to Sugar Ditch, right? That's ego. You can't let ego beat you. You cannot let the forces of ego beat you. Hi, Marcia, right? You can't. It's beaten you for too many years. I don't care if you're 20 years old, right? Ego's been talking to you since you were 6, 7, 8, 9. You don't fit in. They don't like you. Blah 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 blah. Right? Why don't they like me? I don't understand. Because we like to be in the herd, right? H-E-R-D. That's human nature because it's safer. That's like caveman stuff, right? It is. The safer we are in a group, just like animals. Hi, Paula, right? Just like antelope on the African savannah, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. So now that we're individuals, we have to get out of that mindset by calling it out. You can't let ego win. You can't. All ego's going to do is sabotage your butt until the day you go, enough's enough. I'd rather that be now. I'd rather have that be during COVID, right? Because it's going to mean more if you do it during COVID because, again, that ego energy is 10 times more intense than it is in 2022 or was in 2018, right? 2019. Say, now it's just more intense. So it's great to do it now by calling it out. And again, the more that you catch it, awesome. Are you going to catch it all the time? No, not yet. Because you're, whatever age you are, you've been living with it for that long. I'm 60. I started controlling it when I was 58. The fall of 2018, right? When he started telling me, Spirit, like, okay, Bill, no. And I learned that in therapy, right? And that gave me a big push forward. But I still did it in this journey that I'm on now, right? So everything's new. I'm not controlling anything. I can't. Except for my ego. Except for what comes out of my mouth. Except for even the way that I feel, right? And why do I feel like that? Why do I feel less than? Why do I feel crappy? Well, again, right? Change the way you feel, right? Because I'll give myself a pity party for just about a couple of hours, maybe 3-4 hours, before finally Spirit says, okay, that's enough of that. You got stuff you got to do today. Bill, let that energy go. It doesn't serve you. You can't beat yourself up all of the time for things that you hurt people's feelings, or I hurt Bailey's feelings, or hurt my own feelings by not catching something. It's not worth it. See? But the more that you practice, the easier it is to catch it. See? That's because again, it doesn't serve you. Carrying around guilt or carrying around, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh my gosh, it came out wrong. Oh my gosh, I apologize, but I should probably apologize again. That's all ego. Yeah, baby, I can control you about your emotions. Yep. I can control you about everything that you think about when it comes to that person right there, or your family, or your best friend, or your boss, or whatever it is. Yeah, see? It's in everything that we live with every day. So we have to extract it, right? Got to be conscious. Got to pay attention. Got to understand that if we don't, it grows like a freaking weed, and all of a sudden we're back to 50% of where we were at before, and like, oh my God, I do it all the time now. What happened? Because you weren't conscious. You weren't paying attention. And you have to pay attention. As hard as life is, you have to pay attention to you. You got to be selfish. Got to be selfish. Dorothy says, I'm trying to figure out if I should list my timeshare for sale on cost $750. Spirit says wait. Okay? He says wait. So he said it's not about the money. It's about the process and about COVID coming back and a lockdown coming nationwide. Okay? Yeah. Okay? So, he said you'd just be throwing money away. Okay? So not now. Not now. Not now. So let's see how much time we got, guys. Okay, we got 12 minutes. Let's see if you've got anything else to say. No, I don't think so. So if anybody has any questions, guys, pop them down. Make sure that they're only, I think it's 10 words long, so I can answer it for you. If not, I will answer it for you after we're done, sometimes later tonight. After I put it on all of my socials, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. Okay? But yeah, take to heart everything that Spirit said today about taking care of yourself, right? And it's super, super important. Susan says that she's election anxiety. A lot of people do. Okay, it's gonna be a rough couple of months. Hi Shay, but the winner will prevail. Okay. And if people want to know who's going to win, I will tell you that since we're only a couple days away. Okay, so Stacy says, when do you think the lockdown is coming? From what Spirit has said, it's coming either right before or right after Thanksgiving. Okay, it's going to be about 4, 5, 6 months long. Chimes. He's saying about Thanksgiving, because right now the tolls are rising big time. And the hospitals are starting to get full again, and there's nothing to do. There's no place to put people, and God forbid, you don't want your family to die alone. Wear a mask. Please wear a mask, okay? So let's see. Elizabeth says, I'm trying to figure out if it's safe enough to have a third child. Yes, it is. Good time, Spirit says. Yep, it's safe enough. And if you try, you'll be pregnant very, very soon, if you're not pregnant already. The baby's waiting for you there, Spirit says, Elizabeth. It's waiting for, Spirit says it's waiting for the act to come, and for you to allow it to come. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. The thing that you can't be afraid of having babies. Okay. Yeah, you'll be fine. So will the baby. If you want me to tell you what it is, I'll tell you. Shay, I'm on the right spiritual path. Shay, I need more than that. Spirit says yes, but you're trying too hard. You can't try. Don't try. Let it come. Let it come. Susan's got chills. Yeah. So you can't try. You just have to allow. But if you want to give me more, that's cool. Thank you, Spirit. I'm because honey, your son is ready to come. Oh, if you didn't want to know, sorry, it's a boy. Sorry. Yes, he's ready. Yep. He just said, I'm ready to bless my mommy. I'm ready to bless my mommy with my love. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh. He wants to bless, he can't wait to bless his mommy with his love. Oh yes, his mommy and his daddy with his love. He's a basket of just mwah. When my mommy sees me for the first time, he says, she will smile and know who I am. So that is incarnation, right? You know who he is. Elizabeth, I'm telling you. It's, yeah. He says he'd like to come now. But he's not there. But he's not in his mommy yet. Okay? When my mommy sees me, she will know who I am. Okay? And it won't be anybody that you know from this lifetime. Somebody from past lives. Okay? He's your grandmother from a prior life. He's your grandmother from a prior life. So when you look at this child, you'll be like, oh my gosh, connection, soul connection, right? Soul connection. Well, your dad's helping him come, but he's not your father. Yeah, okay. She's hysterically crying. You're welcome. That's kind of how it works, right? Let me see if I got everybody. See if there's anything else. There's Shay and Stacy. So Suzanne, everything will work out. Don't have anxiety. The universe is working overtime to correct what happened in 2016, and it will be corrected, and new energy will be born onto the United States. Okay, and that's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Okay, and all the things that they can put in place to take care of humanity, to take care of us. Okay, and that's what's going to happen. All right. So no anxiety. Just don't watch TV if you can, because it can be freaking just crazy. Okay. Okay. So let's see on the bottom here. Catherine, she backed out of the land deal. Hang on. Okay, so Spirit says, Catherine, don't allow that to stop the flow. Okay? Don't let that stop the flow. All right? He doesn't want you to miss the next thing, the next property. Okay? Or possibly even another house. Okay? Because you're in that Capricorn lockdown, right? Oh, well, that didn't work. I had my hopes up. I'm not going to do that. You can't do that. Okay? Again, we're born almost on the same day, right? So you can't do that. You got to give yourself the flow. You got to keep the flow of the energy flowing. Okay? Don't let one thing, because that's your guide. We're gonna see how she reacts after the disappointment. Spirit says you got to be okay with it. Okay, fine. It wasn't meant to be. Okay, let's. Okay, Spirit. What's the next thing? Let's go. Let's bring me some more. Bring me some more. Bring me some more. Okay. Paus has been depressed lately and feels like bad juju. Will he get a job in 2020 that will pay the bills? Dorothy, the government's going to pay him to stay home, so that's coming in the very, very, very near future. There's a job there. There's a job there if he wants it. So, but it's a menial job. It just depends upon if he wants to do it or not. Spirits keep saying he's not going to have to. Those checks are going to come every month, deposited in your bank account, just like an income tax refund. Okay, Marcia, do you really want me to tell you that your attitude is fine? It's always fine. It's your ego we got to worry about. Get out of that, right? Let that stuff go. Tap, girl, tap. Right? Those three. Spirit, I'm going to need you to take this energy out. It's not mine. I need you to let it go. Take this heartbreak away. Do whatever you got to do, right? Because you're a lovely lady. You're just too hard on yourself. This gets too much going on. Shay, when my mother survived cancer, Spirit won't tell you that, my dear. He does not tell people if someone in their life is going to live or die. That's not his job. Okay? That's not his job. He cannot look into your mother's soul journey to see if she's going to be okay or not. Okay? That's not his he just said that's above my pay grade. My guides don't do that. I'm sorry. Okay, Bridget, hello. I didn't know you're. There you are. Hey, I'm saying I didn't know you were here. Okay, Bridget, moving to New York. Anything? You're going to New York State or New York City? Anything to pay attention to? Are Are you getting a house or an apartment? Okay, let me know that, because Spirit says you have to feel it. You got to go in. You got to be positive about the move, and you have to ask for something to show up, right? And then you got to go feel it if you can. If you're going to buy it, like if you're going to rent it online, or you're going to buy a house online and things like that, then you can't really. You can still feel it by looking at the picture that's online and things like that. Going, okay, Spirit, what do you think about that? But there's a house waiting for you. Spirit says, the house waiting for you, and it will become your home. Will become your home. Okay, apartment, Western New York. Okay. Again, feel. You know, if you're going to visit places, how does it feel? What type of cars are parked in the parking lot? Right? I mean, it's all about visual, like a checklist of maybe 3, 4, 5 things. Like how's the upkeep, But then it's about going inside and going, okay, this feels good, or no, it doesn't feel good. No, thanks. It doesn't face south, or I don't like this, or don't like that. Is it something you can get used to? Possibly, but if it doesn't, I know. Spirit says it doesn't have to hit all the check marks. That's unrealistic, but it has to check some of them inside of you. Yes, Catherine, you're right. I agree. House later, Bridget, exactly. Yes. The house is coming, okay? He says the house of your dreams, Bridget, is coming, okay? So let me go back to Shay. Shay, it's okay. Don't have to say you're sorry, okay? Don't worry about her, okay? Give her lots of love. Give her lots of hugs and kisses. Anything that's happened between you, let it go, okay? Let it go. Pure love can solve anything, Spirit just said, okay? Pure love can solve anything. Us letting our baggage go about our parents and forgiving them for anything that they did to us, wronged us, said to us, whatever. It's not worth it. Let it go. You gotta forgive people. Gotta forgive people, because they're probably moving on with their life. And for us, if you carry it, you're the only one that's miserable. Doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. Hey Jessica, how's it going? Okay, so I'm getting ready to get off, guys. So let me see. Financially strapped since COVID. Will my husband get a job? We have money to pay for things. Marianne, he can get a job anytime. Just depends on what he wants to do. You know, again, I don't have specific, but their jobs are there. Jobs are everywhere. You know, just depends upon what he'd like to do and how he'd like to do it. You know, yeah. So, Elizabeth, I'd like to set up a session. How long should I do? That's your choice. That's your choice, my dear. BillHobart.com. Okay. It's up to you, right? Most people do 60 minutes. Okay. And if they only use a half an hour of it or 45 minutes of it, they bank the other 15 minutes. Okay. If there's nothing else that you have to know. But there's very, very seldom a time when Spirit doesn't have something to tell you. Trust me. You know, there's layers upon layers of things they can let you know about. So thank you guys. I appreciate you today coming and doing the coaching with the soul with me. All right, namaste. And I will see you next Thursday at 3 for coaching for the soul. Thanks, guys.